So welcome to New York. Are you enjoying your visit?
I love the city, and as you know, this is my second time being here because I was invited to your award show. So, but now here only a couple months later, I had to come back. I really like the city.
Wow. We're already planning next year's awards next February, so it's going to be exciting. So we actually just rewatched season 1 of Out with Dad this morning. What was your inspiration for the show?
Well, it started out as a dream where it was actually a bad dream where I had a dreamt that my wife died giving birth to our first daughter. Now she's not pregnant. She's never been pregnant, but this is the dream I had. And the next day, while I was sort of recovering from the fact that, thank goodness she's still alive, I was then sort of mourning this child that I no longer had. Rose was her name. And so I just started thinking about all the things that I'll be missing out on as she grows up. And, things like, her first period, awkward things that dads might have to go through, or dress shopping or whatever else. And then, I don't know, out of nowhere, the idea is like, well, and what if she came out to me? And right there, I was just like, oh, well, obviously I'd be very supportive. And then I just started thinking about the things that a teen might have to go through today coming out, especially if they're really shy, maybe. And that was sort of where I was going with it. It was like, I just started playing all these scenarios, and I got to thinking, well, of course I'd be there to back her up, support her every step of the way, but what if I kind of did that a little bit too much? I might be annoyingly supportive. And that is kind of was like, oh, that's funny. Actually, that's really funny. And then right there I went to web series. That would make a good web series, a single father and a daughter. And, she's coming out and, he's got to learn how to deal with it, and he wants to be really good dad, but sometimes he tries a little too hard.
Now, prior to this, you hadn't done any web series at all. You didn't like some short films or?
That's right, yeah. Like I've done, I went to film school and I did all that, and I've, for a living, I make corporate videos, so I'm still like filming and editing and exercising my filmmaking muscles, right? And whenever I get an opportunity, I'll do short films. Like there's a great 1-minute film festival happens every year in Toronto that I love to participate in, and that kind of thing. But I don't know if I had aspirations to do web series first, or if this came, like I'm not sure which order it happened, but like I said, when I thought of this idea, it was just right, I went straight to web series. It wasn't short film, it wasn't feature film, it wasn't TV show. I just felt like web series is the right medium for this story.
Now, when you've done these projects in the past, are you drawn more to comedy or to drama?
I'm actually a science fiction action geek. So I know, which is completely not Out with Dad. But I like funny things, but I like when you look at my favorite action movies, they're actually the ones that still kind of you walk away with still being touched a little bit and still being moved, like Terminator 2, for instance. You kind of walk away thinking about the value of human life, things like that, right? So those are my favorite kinds of action movies.
Right.
And so I guess when you think about storytelling, like that's what I want to talk about is like, what's important to us, human connection and relationships. That's the stuff that really matters in the best science fiction and action movies.
Right. Now, we talked about the Indie Soap Awards. Out with Dad had several nominations, but you've also been honored in a lot of different places. Were you surprised by the critical support from the show?
Every time. I can still remember, I was on Facebook one day, and Chris Greenway, who does Venus Spa, we sort of befriended each other just online, and he just said, oh, by the way, congratulations on the nominations. I said, well, what are you talking about? I don't know. And so he just sent me the link to your site, and I was scrolling down, and I kept seeing Out with Dad, Out with Dad, Out with Dad. I was floored. And it's been like this for a few other festivals and award shows where, Kate and Will have both been honored a number of times with nominations and awards for their acting. And I'll tell you, though, the one that surprises me the most is whenever I've been nominated for a writing award. I've never seen myself as a writer. I always, when people ask me, what do? I say, oh, I'm a filmmaker. But I think in my brain I'm saying director. And so, but now I'm realizing, well, I actually really like writing, and I've gotten to know members of the Writers Guild of Canada, and so I'm realizing, oh, I'm a writer, go figure. So it's been a great growing experience for me. One of the things, overwhelmingly, last season, everyone kept saying episodes are too short, which surprised me because I always used to hear the golden rule about web series is that it's supposed to be, episodes should be 3 to 5 minutes. If they get any more than that, people won't watch it. That was a rule. And so I tried to follow that rule, and I learned very quickly that it's absolutely untrue.
Well, thank you so much, Jason. Really appreciate your
Thank you,
time
Roger.
today, and we will see you at next year's Indy Soap Awards.